SchoolQuizz students. I'm your biology teacher Swathi, and in this video, the chapter which we are reading is the fundamental unit of life. Up till this part, we have discussed the basic definition of cell, that what actually the cell is, what is the composition of cell. Then we have seen the discovery of cell, what is microscope, what is the function of microscope. Then the shape and size of the cell, like the cell can be oval, spherical, rectangular, and the sizes, like it can be microscopic like RBC to fairly large like nerve cells too. Then we have seen the different functions of the cells and the shapes they exist in. After that, we discuss the cell theory and the three postulates of the modern cell theory. Next is the types of organism, in which the organisms can be classified into two categories, whether they are unicellular organisms or they are multicellular organisms. The example for unicellular organisms is amoeba, paramecium, and bacteria, whereas the example of multicellular organisms is plant, human beings, and animals. From this video, the topic which we are going to start is types of cells. So the cells can be categorized into two categories, that is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Okay, so now let's see what actually the prokaryotic cells are. So prokaryotic cells are the cells in which true nucleus is absent. So there will be no true nucleus in the case of prokaryotes. Okay, they are primitive. Primitive means they are very primary or very basic. They will not have any advanced modification and functioning present inside them. And incomplete cells, like as you have seen that nucleus is absent, so there are various organelles or the structures which will be absent in prokaryotes, because of which they are regarded as incomplete cells. Prokaryotes are always unicellular organisms. Okay, so this needs to be kept in mind that prokaryotes are always unicellular organisms. That means if an organism is prokaryote, that means it will have a single cell in which all of the functioning will be continued. Okay, like either it's the digestion of food, engulfing of the food, or movement and other processes. So students, once again I am repeating, this point is very important, that prokaryotes are always unicellular organisms. Okay, and the examples which come under prokaryotic cells are archaebacteria, bacteria, blue-green algae. Okay, now this is the diagram for prokaryotic cell, in which you can see we are having pili is there, which are the thread-like structures on the surface. We have a capsule. Like when we take medicines, you might have seen the outer covering. The capsule is there, in which small granules are there. Similarly, in case of prokaryotes, a capsule or a covering is there, and that capsule is covered by a cell wall from outside, and under cell wall we have plasma membrane. So these up till this part, you should only know the parts of prokaryotic cell, but all the parts are present. In later on videos, we will discuss the function of each and every part and the composition with which they are. Okay. Then we have ribosomes inside the prokaryotic cells. Mesosomes are found. Plasmid is present and nucleoid is present. Apart from that, fimbriae is there and flagella is there. Okay. So in total, we have pili is there. Fimbria are present in prokaryotic cell. Flagellum is present. Nuclei is present inside the cell. Capsule is present. Cell wall is present. Plasma membrane is present. Ribosome is present. Mesosome is present, and plasmid is present inside the cell. Okay. Then we have eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are the cells in which true nucleus is present. Okay, so in the eukaryotic cell, like in the center, you can see this is the nucleus. So a true nucleus is present in case of eukaryotic cells, and they are advanced. They are advanced because in them, like the cell is complete. So if a cell is complete, various kinds of advanced functioning can be taken place inside the cells. Okay, So because of that, they are known as advanced and complete kind of cells. Eukaryotes include all living organisms. So all of the living organisms can be included in this category, that is both unicellular and multicellular organisms. As we say that all unicellular organisms are prokaryotes, okay? But in case of eukaryotes, also some unicellular organisms can come and multicellular organisms can also come, except for bacteria and blue-green algae, which will always come under the category of prokaryotes. Okay, so in eukaryotic cells, we have a central nucleus is there. Then we have mitochondria. Apart from that, lysosome is present in eukaryotic cell. Golgi bodies are present. Endoplasmic reticulum is present inside them. Cytoplasm is there. Cytoskeletal elements are there, and ribosome is present inside the eukaryotic cell. Okay, so in total, these all are the compositions of the eukaryotic cells. Next, we can see there is a distinction which is shown between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. If you can see, the prokaryotic cell is very, very primitive or basic level of a cell, and in which very few things are there. If we can compare, the thing which is common in both is that the DNA will be present in both of them. Both will contain ribosomes, will have cell membrane. The cell cell membrane will be present in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Then both of them will contain the cytoplasm. So this is something which is common for both of the cells. Now comes what is different. So the different is that prokaryotes have simple structure because they are primitive, and no prominent nucleus is present in prokaryotes. The size is very, very small. Okay, and the cell wall which is present in prokaryotes is made up of peptidoglycan. So peptidoglycan basically is responsible for formation of cell walls in prokaryotes. The ribosome which is found in prokaryotes is small. So the small subunit of ribosome is found, like we have 70S ribosome also and 80S ribosome also. So in case of prokaryotes, we will have 70S ribosome. Okay, and prokaryotes are unicellular organism. No cell organelles will be present in the prokaryote. That means the mitochondria, ribosomes, like endoplasmic reticulum and lysosomes and other advanced type of organelles will be absent from the prokaryotic cells. The examples of the prokaryotic cells are bacteria and archaebacteria. Okay. Now let's see the eukaryotes. So eukaryotes have a complex structures because they are complete organism in which all of the organelles are well maintained and well prepared. Because of that, they can be involved in advanced functioning also. They have prominent nuclei. So permanent and a fixed nuclei in the almost in the center of the cell is present in case of eukaryotes. They are large size because it is something which we can analyze or relate also, that if like various kinds of organelles are present inside eukaryotic cell, so there needs to be larger space to accommodate all of those cell organelles. Because of that, like the size of eukaryotic cell is comparatively larger if we compare it with prokaryotic cells. And the cell wall in case of eukaryotes is made up of chitin and cellulose. Okay, they have large ribosomal unit. So the large ribosomal unit, 80S ribosomal unit, is present in the case of eukaryotes. They can be either unicellular or multicellular. So both of them can be included if we talk about unicellular eukaryotes. Membrane-bound organelles are found. So there are organelles present in the eukaryotes, like endoplasmic reticulum is there, Golgi complex is there, mitochondria is there, and they are attached with the membranes. Like if we talk about mitochondria and chloroplast, so both of them have a double membrane structure. Basically, they have because they are having two membranes with them. Because of that, they are known as double membrane structures. And the example of eukaryotes are human, plant, fungus, and plants. Okay. And see, students, in this diagram also it is shown that in case of prokaryotes, we have capsule, which is outer covering is there. Then ribosomes are present, and the ribosome which will be present are 70S. DNA is present, and then we have cell wall, plasma membrane is present, and cytoplasm is present. But if we compare it with eukaryotes, then we have a central nucleus is there. Apart from that, ribosomes are present, and Golgi complex is also there. Endoplasmic reticulum is there. Plasma membrane is there. Mitochondria are also present. And in starting also, I told you that in upcoming videos, you are going to know that why mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell. So here you can see that where the mitochondria is present, and like in further videos, we will also discuss the functioning of the mitochondria and the reason behind mitochondria being known as the powerhouse of the cell. Then we have cytoplasm, and that is lysosome is present. And one another name which I told you in previous video, that lysosome is also known as the suicidal bag of the cell. So this also we will get to know that why lysosome is known as the suicidal bag of the cells. Okay. So now we can see at a broader perspective that what all are the major differences. So if we talk about the size, so the size of prokaryotic cell usually lies between 1 to 10 millimeter only. So this small size is of that of prokaryotic cell. Whereas if we talk about eukaryotic cells, so the size is generally large, which lies between 5 to 100 millimeters. The nucleus is absent in case of prokaryotes, whereas nucleus is present in case of eukaryotes. The single chromosome is present in prokaryotic cell, whereas in eukaryotic cell, more than one chromosome can also be present. As nucleus is absent in prokaryotic cell, so similarly nucleolus will also be absent in prokaryotic cell. Okay, because nucleolus is like present inside the nucleus only. So but like in case of eukaryote, the nucleus is present, so nucleolus will also be present in case of eukaryotes. Next, we can say the membrane-bound or cell organelles are absent in case of prokaryotes, whereas membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, plastids, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, etc. So all these organelles are present inside the eukaryotes. Then if we have one thing which we studied in cell theory is that each cell arises from the pre-existing cells. In that topic only, I told you that like from initially existing cells, only new organism will arise. So how they can arise? So they basically arise by the process of cell division only, or we can say the cell, when the cell will reproduce, they will form this young ones of their own kind, or like if we are having one cell is there, and if that cell will divide, one or two cells of its own kinds are formed. Okay, so if we talk about cell division in case of prokaryotic organism, it can take place by the process of fission or by the process of budding. Okay, so in case of budding, which what actually happens is a small structure is there, and small buds keep on growing on the top of parental body only, and when they increase in size, later on they are detached from the parent body and they separate. So budding is basically seen in the case of yeast or Saccharomyces cerevisiae, you can say, or fission. Fission basically is the process in which one parent body will divide into two parent body, which is usually seen in the case of. Okay, so this basically is a category of asexual reproduction only, in which only single parent will be involved. But if we talk about eukaryotic organism, in eukaryotic organism, the division of cell basically takes place by mitotic or meiotic cell division. Mitotic division basically is the division which is the recreational cell. So if initially we are having a diploid cell, so after division also we will get to diploid cell. So this is the fluidity of parents, and the offspring will remain same in case of mitotic division. But if we talk about meiotic division, in meiotic division, the reduction in the number of chromosomes of fluidity is seen. So if the parental fluidity is 2n, the daughter or the sister chromosomes which will be formed will have n and n. So if that way the cell division take place in eukaryotes, where we will see that like in one case only, like what happens is parent is there and it will divide into the two sister sister cells, and they will be exactly similar to their parent, whereas in meiotic division, there will be reduction in their cloning. Okay? And if we talk about mitotic division, so in mitotic division, there are various phases like prophases, there metaphases, there then comes anaphase, and then the telophase is there. So what actually happens is in prophase, the condensation of the nuclear material and other things takes place. Then comes the metaphase, in which those cells will get arranged at the equatorial plate, and they are attached to the poles with the help of spindle fibers. In anaphase, those two cells just separate from their centromere and try to move apart to the opposite poles, and after reaching to the telophase, the cells have reached to their respective poles, and they divide into two different cells. So this way the process of mitosis takes place. If we talk about meiosis, so two types of meiosis are there: meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 is exactly similar to the mitotic division, only it's a separation, but meiosis 1 is reductional division, in which in prophase there are various stages like lipoprotein, zygote, packaging, lipoprotein, and digestion is there, and then these processes are there. So just name are sufficient for you students up to this level. More advanced things you will see when you will come in 11th class, and up to this level, this much information is more than enough for you. So once again, let's just see the differences. So one is the size. The size of prokaryotic cell is very small, 1 to 10 millimeter only. For eukaryotic cell, it is 5 to 100 millimeter. Nucleus is absent, so nucleolus will be absent. Nucleus is present, nucleolus will be present. There is single chromosome in case of prokaryotic organism, whereas in eukaryotic organism, 2 chromosomes are there, because the genes from both parents will be like taken up in case of prokaryotic cell. Then we have membrane-bound organelles are absent in case of prokaryote, whereas membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, plastid, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes are present in case of prokaryotes. The cell division or the even the duplication of cell will take place by the process of fusion or budding in case of prokaryotes. In case of cell division, in eukaryotes, it can take place by mitosis, which is equational division, or meiosis, which is a reductional division. That's all for today's topic, students. I hope you are able to understand whatever I'm teaching you. Please keep revising previous basic concepts also, so that in a better way you can get to understand these concepts. And let me tell you that biology is a very, very interesting subject in which you can get to analyze and know more about the body or how actually the organism is made. So it is something which is very easy for you to correlate, because you can see everything yourself. Okay, students. So stay happy, stay blessed, keep learning, keep studying. Bye bye, students.